Hi, everyone. It's Tyler Muir with TMM Capital Advisory, and I have Brody Sutherland, the CEO of TocvanVentures here.
Hey Tyler, good to see you
Hey,
again.
yeah. So let's talk about your land expansion around Pilar. You've taken the Pilar property, and now you've 20 times the size?
Yeah, we're thinking big at Pilar, and this is something that we've wanted to do for a long time, and we see the potential of this area. Historically, it has seen no systematic exploration for gold and silver, uh, but great indications. The same geology that we have at Pilar. You can see it in the hills around us, the alteration cells tied to mineralized systems, and the placer miners that are quite active in this area and have been for the last couple of years. Yeah, there's no doubt there's something shedding gold here.
For sure. So you have some data about this expansion. Do you mind sharing some of that with us?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's fairly simple in that the satellite imagery really starts to tell the story, and this is just looking at one portion of the expansion area just north of Pilar. You can see the roads around Pilar in the southern part of this diagram here. But this is satellite imagery, straight from Google Earth, so anyone can look at this. And um, what's interesting is before, about a year ago, you can see this drainage to the north of Pilar, and there are known historic mine workings that have gold and silver on the old geology map in this area. So known sources of gold, but also an area further to the south of here where there appears to be some historic workings as well. And I mean, you can just see clearly, the before image, and then now where it's at. These guys with heavy equipment, with excavators, dump trucks, worked this drainage and recovered a significant amount of gold out of it. And they don't do this unless they're making money. And what it's done for us is really highlight that there is a source for gold in this area that is separate to Pilar, but it also ties into our model for Pilar. We have these parallel zones that are all running next to each other, and we've proven that with drilling at Pilar with the 600-meter step out. And I think this is just further showcasing that. And you can clearly see where they stopped. That's just where they're getting too high up in the valley. There's
Okay.
not enough material for them to turn. So that's really exciting. And then just to the north of there, you can see where they're starting up again, and you can see their equipment on the imagery. So that's where they've been most recently, and it's indicating that this other drainage to the east is likely shedding gold as well. And now what we want to do is move that towards drill targeting, finding the source for that, and we're excited to do that.
Yeah, well, the gold's got to come from somewhere, right?
For sure. Yeah, it's simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have a satellite aster data. Do you want to talk about that quickly?
Yeah, for sure. This interpretation is based off satellite imagery. So the more rocket that's exposed, the better signal you get. But really in a simple applied terms, it's if you're seeing multiple colors come from this, then you've got mineralization tied to porphyry and epithermal systems. Um, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the right kind of alteration with this data, and it's very apparent visually as well. I mean, it's these are all volcanic rocks that are quite altered, and you can see there's quite a few areas across the property that have that. And importantly, looking at Pilar itself down in the southern part of the image, it doesn't light up with those colors that you see from the satellite imagery, but that's because these epithermal systems are often on the flank of a porphyry system, so they're on the edge of where you see this type of alteration. And so that's what we see at Pilar. And so that's going to hone us in on other areas to target, like where the placer miners have kind of indicated there's a source over here. And then further to the north, I mean, there's a significant area right adjacent to this alteration that we can start to target. And importantly, there's an old historic placer mining camp to the west of here, and that's clearly coming from this area. So we think it's very prospective. Again, never been explored, and we want to be the first to do that.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So, there's some drilling being planned as we speak here.
For sure. I mean, that's our objective here, is to rapidly advance these towards drill targeting.
Yeah.
And if we can hit 2 kilometers away from Pilar, 5 kilometers away from Pilar, and prove that there's a district here, that's a big upside for our shareholders.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everybody's pretty excited to see this expansion, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can prove up there.
For sure. Yeah, we're excited to keep everyone updated as we progress.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for your time, Brody, and have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Tyler.